Hello, my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. Welcome back to Kalash. So, today, everybody's been asking me lately, what am I shooting for lethal weapons? What am I shooting for lethal weapons? And, I actually, myself, I thought I was going to be shooting that C93, but I went out and, did a day with it, did a match with it, and, it's just to be competitive. I need a lot more training on that rifle because, one thing I was noticing, it's kind of a complicated reload procedure with an HK. So, when you don't have that, trained into you from fucking years and years and years, yeah, I mean, sure, fine, a couple weeks I can get trained up on that. But other issue is, I'm very, very used to race triggers, and that thing very much has a very military trigger. So, bad training habits, just using nice triggers and shit. And honestly, just a factory AK trigger, I use those quite a bit, and they're a lot faster. So I was just having a problem with the mush. I kept overrunning quite a bit. So, I just really took a look at my performances with training, and I took it to a Texas Kalashnikov to see how this does on the clock, and I wasn't happy, honestly. It's a factory C93, gun's a little bouncy, so another thing I would have had to had a little time to train up on would be recoil management. So because you can't really thumb over when you're doing iron sights with an HK. And I don't own a claw mount, so, can't do retro mod for those. So, what am I shooting? What am I shooting? What am I shooting? So, I decided that since it's, a match where everybody likes to bring out their special guns and everything, and, that particular one, it's fine. We'll just shoot it next year. I mean, if anything, it'll just give me an opportunity to get more steely mags, because it turned out also that the pro mags, they don't run as well as the steels, but they do run. And being that I also am going to have to change out my extractor spring on that gun, one thing I noticed is that when the spring is starting to fail, the steel mags work a little better, because you have like this long kind of process when you start noticing that spring going. You start getting particular types of stovepipes. You'll notice a certain ejection pattern, and then you'll start getting these very particular type of stovepipes, and it'll happen on pretty much every HK. I don't know. I mean, excuse me, every roller lock HK. So, yeah, without all that going on, what am I shooting? What am I shooting? And, yeah, special match. Decided, let's pull her out. Let's just pull her out. I mean, I got plenty of 545. It's cheap enough again, so that whole 545 is dead shit. Factory trigger. I do have an ALG Ultimate sitting around. I'm probably going to throw in this. But really all we're going to do today is throw an optics mount on this guy, which do I have the tools right here to do it? Because I need to move a piece real quick. So you can't just bring one gun to a match. I've seen lots of people do that, and it has bit them in the ass. So what are we doing for a backup? Well, I mean, if it's in the same class, you can actually switch guns back and forth, really. So, which every now and again, I'll just tend to do that, and just, hey, I want to shoot this on a stage. So, I'm going to bring out the old PSA AK-74. And this is going to be my backup, and maybe a couple stages will be my main gun. So, really, all we got to do today is dress this thing up. So, because of the addition of the optics and glial aces being allowed. It's hard for me to actually look at Lethal Weapons anymore as like a purely retro match. It's more like a retro informed match, I suppose, now. Because yeah, the glial ace is definitely a modern gun. I mean, I personally liked it when it was just iron sights. That's just me. I mean, some people want an opportunity to run optics on their weird fucking guns, so I totally get it. That's what divisions are for and everything. But I will say I did prefer it when everything was iron sighted. I thought that was dope. Put everybody on an equal playing field. So I decided that since that's allowed this year and to be competitive at the match, I'm just gonna run optics too. So, you know, get a more familiar gun in an AK. You know, we'll get a, you know, an optic on there, even though I've been doing irons. You know, I got my nice little 100-yard, 50-yard zero thing on this 74 right here. I don't have the irons on this Krink zeroed, but not a big deal. We're gonna throw an RS regulate on that Krink. We're gonna throw a crook on this, but the other problem is, you know, we got this guy all tactical and shit. We're gonna have to de-tactical that with some factory wood. So, got some. This is just actually the furniture off the WBP Jack, the 5.56, and I gotta say, honestly, it's really not bad looking stuff at all. It's really good looking stuff, and yeah, just for fun, we're gonna throw a factory Yugo grip on there. For some reason, I can't find my beautiful glossy one. I always brag about my beautiful glossy Yugo grip, but you know, Yugo grip's a Yugo grip. So let's get to it. Fancy dress party. Get some music going while we're doing this again. Oh, hello. Heads up. Tella, definitely semi-corrosive. Gonna have to clean this fucker now. Great. I dumped some water down it last time I shot it, just in case, but, you know, guess it didn't get the piston there. God damn it. That's not good. Let's see our gas tube. I see you. Alright. Okay, it's just a little bit of minor corrosion around the inner gas tube here, so let me go get some oil and then we'll get to this here. Annoying. Okay. Got the correct Allen bits just laying here. That'd be really convenient. Oh, that's not an Allen bit. That's just a grody screwdriver. That's not safe. One sec. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Got some optics mounts too. So let's go ahead and bore snake this bitch real quick. Just give it a nice washout. Okay, let's get to this bullshit. So this guy is on Allen's, so let me see. Not the right size. Here we go. This mic. What is that fucking crud? Hope that's not thread. Yeah, that's thread. That's not good. PSA. So, mind you, this is a little bit of like a, kind of almost like a 7,000 round review. It's got about 7,500 on it now. I haven't shot it in a little bit since the last time I really racked up rounds on this fucker, but yeah, we'll talk about this in a little bit. Let's just get this going. All right, we'll pop the stock in first so we got something to prop on while we are working here. Yeah, it's a cheapo screwdriver. My good shit's inside. Okay. In we go. Okay, I actually need to get a screwdriver that works here real quick. All right, here we got a screwdriver for a man. All right. Just clean the screws some oil, so not crazy cooperative. Let's tighten up this other one. Okay. Now, oh, I forgot about this goddamn grip shit with the annoying Allens. Fuck, what size is that shit? One of these. See, my big problem here is that I left all my T-handle Allen wrenches they're all at work. So I'm gonna have to just do the little to get this thing out, which is really annoying. I'm gonna stop recording for a second. So I tried to pull out my bits to just use, you know, the screwdriver with an Allen, and unfortunately it's just like much too short. So I'm just going to grab my Allens from work and we'll change this out later, so we don't do any more of this stupid shit, because I literally just twisted some fucking pliers apart. So we'll just put the furniture on right now. I'm gonna give this another spray of some kind of oil. Okay. Now let's wrap this up and go zero. Don't give me no shit today. Ooh, nice and tight. Just how I like it. What do we gotta do? Oh, gas tube. Let's bring this over to the vise. Let's get real bright here in a second. Yeah, I have like a little backyard workshop here. I like to be casual. I'm Mr. Casual. Okay. This be like the quickest dressing we've ever had. My God. That went on so nicely. Isn't that amazing? Someone should let Zeneco know it's a lot nicer when you could just put stuff in. Okay. All right. So we are nearly done here. Anything else we need to do? No. Just put a goddamn bolt back in here. Ooh, I should have probably sprayed this with some gun oil too. That nice clean piston. And top cover. All right, we're ready to fucking roll. Let's just get an optics mount on this bitch, but first let's take a look at it. Nice looking gun. It's a nice looking gun. It'll be better once it's got that Yugo grip on there, but nice looking gun overall. I guess it passes the silhouette test, so don't even really need to change out the grip, but we're going to be using a Crook optics mount. What did I just do with the Allen for this? There we go. Luckily, I shouldn't need to do too much zeroing on this optic, because the last time it was zeroed was for 545, because I'm a cool guy. We gotta tighten these Crook ones quite a bit. Not like excessively or anything, but you just gotta make sure they're actually staked down. Oh yeah, it's staked down. I just bent the metal in. All right, okay. So, the only last thing we gotta do here before I take off to go zero is just do a little movie on this RS Regulate here. God, here we go. So one thing that I don't like is I'm not even kidding you, my RS Regulate is starting to wear out. Wear and tear fucking sucks, man. Anyway, I think we're done bitching here. I think we're done babbling. Let's go. All right, battery's still good on that. Let's go get us a zero. Alrighty, boils, ghouls, and zools. Check out this sweet fucking Partisan boonie hat. You know I always got drip. Let's get zeroed up. Wait, why am I fucking with these when I have these? Alright, so today I'm going to be using the AKT Sport in-ears. There we go. Much better. I forgot to turn them on there. Oh well, not a big deal. I don't need to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk to you. So, let's go do the thing. Well, I usually say that when I'm about to go dress a rifle up, but that's just generally to get around YouTube. So we're gonna go see where the zero is at 25, and we'll work from there. But I didn't bring a tripod today, so hold on a second. I'll be back. I gotta tell y'all, this tele ammunition, it's gotta be some of the most inaccurate shit I have ever shot in my life. Took me 100 fucking rounds to get that. Insane, dude. Insane. The shit is all over the place. I was sitting there at like 10 yards just checking where the bullets land. They just shotgun. They just shot. I'm just loading up another mag here. I have a feeling that this is going to be much better out of the 16-inch rifle, honestly. So we'll see. Camera there. Let's see if we are a whiff or if we are nothing but net. Let's go check out our first impacts. Okay, not too terrible. We're at least on paper. So I was doing the dead center, and we just got a couple on the lower left here. So we're just gonna have to click it over a little bit, pull it up. Not too bad. My suspicions were correct. So let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rounds. And I at least got a 25-yard zero. That's really not too bad. I mean, we're gonna tighten it up on the 50, obviously. Just gotta have to come up a little bit probably, but that's really depressing. It's looking like the this ammo in the Krink, they don't like each other very much. So let's move back to the 50 and tighten this bitch up. Well, I'm very pleased. I just got at least a answer. Pretty much what I said a few minutes ago. That is the truth. So I'll cut it in here. We'll break this down a little bit when we're back at the house and out of the heat. I'm gonna get this rifle zeroed, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here so we could do some talking. Well, boils, ghouls, and zools, back from the range. Had some unfortunate revelations, and double checked with my good pal Zach Schaefer to kind of confirm some thoughts I had and ask a few questions, and we'll just get this out of the way. So at the beginning of this video, I said I was using this guy, so we're going to talk about why I'm not using this guy while I attempt to. I'm going to take a stick here and see if I can do this. Jesus Christ, this fucking RS Regulate is on there, man. When in doubt, use your can as a pry. So, we're gonna pop this guy apart. I'm gonna tell you why he ain't being used. So, I am shooting Tele Impex ammo. Tela is not the greatest stuff. It really is not. It's I'm not having great accuracy with it. Um, just ballpark measurement. I'm getting about without a tape measure or anything. I'm getting about a 5 MOA with it, somewhere around there. I'm pretty solid with the rifles. Then it comes to the old Krinksy here. Give that gas tube a nice spray out. If you didn't know, that Tela stuff is corrosive, so you do have to give it a nice good wash and bath on everything when you're done. So, moving on. We got a Bulgarian Krink here. I'm shooting Tela Impex ammo, which, like I said, I'm not getting good accuracy results out of it whatsoever. Honestly, downright awful accuracy results. Might as well spray some in here too. And it is 69 grain 545. So I went to go train last week, and I was having fine accuracy. It was, what I expected, exactly what I expected. And, I just did a quick zeroing session, so I went out with these guys to tighten it up and get the Krink zeroed, because, I wanted to shoot the Krink. Believe me, I wanted to shoot the Krink. Unfortunately, there's a difference between Russian and Bulgarian Krinks. The Russian Krinks have a 1-6 twist barrel, and the Bulgarians have a 1-7. Between the two, you'll see 1-7s all the time. It's not a problem, but you'll see them out of a 16-inch barrel. Now, what's the problem here? Well, 62 grain ammo out of a 8-inch barrel with a 1-6 or 1-7 twist, it does not stabilize the bullet, unfortunately. So all my time shooting the Krink, I've pretty much mostly exclusively had Wolf, Tula, and 7N6. So pretty much mostly that gun has gotten 53 and 55 grain. So it's been fine, exactly what I expect out of a Krink, it's about as accurate as it's going to be at 200-300 yards. It's that's my experience with just using regular old Tula, Wolf, imported Tula, and Vimpel and stuff like that, and actual Russian loads, which are not as spicy as some people think. Actually very comfortable to shoot. So unfortunately, it's just with the 62 grain ammo, it just will not stabilize. And after talking to Zach Schaefer, I was kind of wondering, I'm thinking, first I'm watching this pattern, and it's like a shotgun. I'm like, what is going on here, man? So I was kind of wondering if it was a combo of the bullet weight and the barrel twist, or possibly something with the bullet weight and the gassing on a Krink, something like that. Maybe with that particular ammo, something like that. So I just hit up Zach Schaefer and asked him, and didn't tell him what I thought. I just said, hey, what's up here, and he's like, oh, barrel twist, man, and undoubtedly. So unfortunately, just can't shoot that at Lethal Weapons, because Tela is all I have, and I am not willing to part with my 7N6 and my Wolf over a regional match, really, because it's just too much of it. I'll shoot the crap. Some people have the opposite philosophy, where I'm gonna get the best stuff I can. Hell no, I'm gonna go out there and fucking dump some rounds and party with my fucking friends is what I'm gonna do, because I'm fine with my skills wherever they're at, and I want to do well, being competitive, absolutely, but it's, if I have to take 1 or 2 extra shots at the long range, it's my heart's not gonna hurt, oh well. things happen. But anyhow, that's a little lesson on crinks and barrel twist. And yeah, because, you know, that's honestly not it. We do need to talk about that if you're not too aware, because not everybody these days, I mean, especially with as many new Kalashers as there are in the past year, and also in that same span of time, the decrease in 545 availability, as well as just the price increase of it, has kind of turned a lot of people off. This Tela, I paid 58 cents a round for, so, I mean, that's far less than I was paying doing fucking Kalash Bash during the pandemic, dude, so I'm not really complaining about that price personally, except for the fact that it's just not good ammo. Now, 545, it tumbles in the air. So you're going to see this from about somewhere around maybe 7 yards to 37 yards is going to be its most violent tumbling, I guess you would say. The bullet does stabilize in the air, so when you're shooting 545, every now and again, yeah, you do get some flyers. It happens. It's just the nature of the round. It was not a round made for accuracy. You know, it was famously made for wounding. So, you know, like not a frangible round, but it does actually break apart. So it will shatter when it hits even paper. You know, it's kind of crazy. So, you know, if you go out to 50 yards, by 37 yards, that round is gonna be tumbling. So, you know, generally people will zero their guns at 50 yards. So that's why I say 50 yards. So, you know, by 37 yards from 50, your round will be tumbling. So really, a very effective zero for 545 would be 37 yards. But yeah, if you go back to 50, you're fine. Just keep it all the same and normal, you know. Which, you know, I have done the 37 and the 50, and there really is not a huge difference. You know, it does translate over to where you literally are only getting, you know, a couple more yards. 545 is a weird round, man. So anyhow, when I was saying I went up close, you know, about 10 feet, something like that. I don't remember if I said yards or feet, but I was actually more like 10 feet. I just wanted to see what's going on with this pattern. So I just dunked a couple into the paper just to see what the pattern was, you know, just held it on target, went dun, 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 you know, and I noticed it starting to just veer off. Like it was just, you know, like the tumble was already starting. And I was like, this is a little quick for that to be happening. So I stepped back to 25 yards and I was able to actually get more on target. Step back to 50 and I'm actually hitting the targets like pretty okay. So basically, by seeing that my round was tumbling that bad within 25 yards and then kind of stabilizing, I'm just basically seeing that my round is hardly stabilizing at all. And you know, it's having a real hard time stabilizing with 62 grain. I mean, it doesn't have these issues with 55 whatsoever, but the 62, it won't stabilize, period. So just gonna have to contend with that. And you know, of course people immediately go, well, rebarrel it. That's an original barrel, so that's not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. Almost forgot to get the bolt faces. Drench them down after I fucking do corrosive. Get another little washy wash. And you, because you got a lot. So I actually spent about 110 rounds trying to zero this thing. And, you know, somewhere around my second, third mag, I was starting to get an idea. I'm like, yeah, there's something going on here, you know. There is definitely something going on here. So I just went back to the drawing board with my zero, walked back up to the target and started, you know, checking where it's at and everything. And tried to see where it was stabilizing, and it seemed to only stabilize between 25 and 50 with this ammo. So, and then past that, it was just a mess, you know, and then anything before that was just a mess. So it was just not stabilizing the round. I don't know how many times I could say that phrase, but with that, what that means is, because it's my only ammo, we're gonna have to go with a full-size 74. So looks like my guns for lethal weapons are going to be this here PSA 74 that's got 7,500 rounds on it, about maybe 76 after that zeroing session. And I will also be using my Tantal. So those will be my special guns I'm bringing out for lethal weapons. I would just go ahead and keep with another, you know, fun gun like a L1A1, but I'm already shooting 5.45. I've already ordered the shit, so that's what we're going with. And I only have 3 5.45 guns left. So the Bulgarian went back to its home, so I went through that all through in the WBP 556 Jack video. I went through that whole thing on how that ended up happening. So if you want to hear the story and the saga, the crazy saga of how I had a Galil Ace Gen 2 556 Scar 27 and a Waffenwerks Bulgarian 74, which you've seen on this show. Go check out my my WBP Jack video. You can see my very long story about my whole saga, the whole fucking saga, because this rifle is actually mixed up in there, because this is the rifle when I said that when I had to mail one of these back to PSA and they kept losing it. This is the rifle they sent back. So yeah, that rifle went from 0 to I used it in every single competition that month, and I used it at what did I say? What else did I use it at? God, I used it at so many competitions, man. Sons of Liberty I used it at, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, so basically the rifle went from on my doorstep with 0 rounds, probably the 10 tester rounds or whatever, to having 7,000 in like a month and a half, 2 months, and it held up. So we're going to keep rolling with it, man. I probably should pull out the field gauges or go no go gauges and check it. I don't have a field gauge. I probably should get one, but so far everything is shooting fine. But that's why we're bringing it back up, in case it stops shooting, because we have some fucking stupid headspace issues. But this is gonna be the setup. This is gonna be probably the main rifle, because I don't know. There's something about shooting a PSA 74 at these competitions. I want to wreck this thing. I want it to die. You know, I want to kill it. Which actually, God, I just noticed something that I never noticed before. Oh my God, this fucking sight block, dude. Here, let me see if I can actually get it just right. Can you see right by the trunnion? You can see fucking right through that shit. If you ever hear about their out-of-spec sight blocks, my God, PSA. That's fucking bad. That's bad. Keep on that. It's just people on Instagram talking shit. Keep on that. My God, that's bad. I never noticed that until just now. Wild. So anyway, my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. Oh God. Reassembling with the goddamn optics mount on there. Sometimes it's not fun. There we go. Oopsies. That was my fault. Just making sure we put the right springs back in here. Okay. And we are all buttoned up. So I think with that, you know what we say about staying safe. You know what we say about having fun. And you know what we say about doing stupid.